which some of today's workshop will be based on. I wanted to start our work together today by giving you just a little story of a situation that came up in my many years of educating. This was something that used to often amuse me, and it was a situation where the children and I would run down to the playing field, and we would open up a garden shed. And in that garden shed, which we used to store some of our play equipment, there would be a large winding device for rope. And it would wind rope up so it would store rather nicely. However, my colleague would often run his lessons right up until the last minute, and he would just simply throw, I think it was about 150 meters or more of rope just into this shed, and it would create a huge tangle. So the children would open up the door and they would say again, "Mr. Payne, it's all tangly. Shall we play the tangly game again?" And I'd say, "Oh yes, let's do." And we would send a couple of children up to the top part of the building overlooking the playing field, and they would run up there and open a window and they could look down and see us. And then everyone would get ready and we would count, go. And we would see how long it took us to untangle this huge long length of plastic rope. And what we learned was never pull on a tangle. Never pull on a tangle. If you pull on a knot, then it gets tighter and tighter. And the children up top, way up high, 4 stories high in the building, would be looking down, saying things like, "Annie, don't pull," because there were certain children who just couldn't help themselves. And we would undo this rope, and it would becoming more and more undone as we would loosen and create more space and create more space, until finally, hooray, it was all undone. And Rowan would get his watch and he would click it and say, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. And the children would shout because it might be a new record. And then the children would come down out the tower, the couple that were up there helping us, and we would then begin to play using this rope as a big boundary on the grass, and that was our field where we could play. Now, the reason this image often comes back to my mind is that when we work with children as educators, I think it's important to remember to never pull on an emotional tangle. When our feelings are becoming conflicted, when we are getting into situations with children where there's tensions, how do we create space? How do we create that opening of never pulling on a tangle? And that is what we're going to explore in this workshop. How can we open up space? How can we, in a sense, give ourselves the feeling of inner spaciousness that enables us to not tighten and to not lock down on a problem? That's a really big part of our work together today, just never pulling on a tangle.